This is not political. This is about being human. This is a little piece of poetry, a little bit of poetry, which poetry is human solidarity. You Are Who I Love by Aracelis Girmay. You, selling roses out of a silver grocery cart. You, in the park, feeding the pigeons. You cheering for the bees. You with cats in your voice in the morning, feeding the cats. You, protecting the river. You are who I love, delivering babies, nursing the sick. You with henna on your feet and a gold star on your nose. You taking your medicine, reading the paper. You looking into the faces of young people as they pass, smiling and saying, all right, which they know it means, I see you, family. I love you. Keep on. You dancing in the kitchen, on the sidewalk, in the subway, waiting for the train because Stevie Wonder, Hector Lavoe, La Lupe. You stirring the pot of beans. You washing your father's feet. You are who I love. You reciting Darwish, then June. Feeding your heart. Teaching your parents how to do the doogie. Counting to 10. Reading your patient's charts. You are who I love. Changing policies. Standing in line for water. Stocking the food pantries. Making a meal. You are who I love. Writing letters. Calling senators. You who, with the seconds of your body, with your time here, arrive on buses, on trains, in cars, by foot to stand in the January streets against the cool and brutal offices saying, your cruelty does not speak for me. You are who I love, you struggling to see, you struggling to love or find a question. You, better than me, you kinder and so blistering with anger. You are who I love, standing in the wind, salvaging the umbrellas, graduating from school, wearing holes in your shoes. You are who I love, weeping, or touching the faces of the weeping. You, Bicholetta Para, grateful for the alphabet, for sound, singing toward us in the dream. You, carrying your brother home. You, noticing the butterflies. Sharing your water, sharing your potatoes and greens. You who did and did not survive. You who cleaned the kitchens. You who built the railroad tracks and roads. You who replanted the trees, listening to the work of squirrels and birds. You are who I love. You whose blood was taken, whose hands and lives were taken, with or without your saying, yes, I mean to give. You are who I love. You who the borders crossed. You whose fires, you decent with the rage, so in love with the earth. You writing poems alongside children. You cactus, water, sparrow, crow. You my elder. You are who I love. Summoning the courage, making the cobbler, getting the blood drawn, sharing the difficult news. You, always planting the marigolds, learning to walk wherever you are, learning to read wherever you are. You, baking the bread, you come to me in dreams. You, kissing the faces of your dead wherever you are, speaking to your children in your mother's languages, tooting the birds. You are who I love. Behind the library desk, leaving who might kill you. Crying with the love songs, polishing your shoes, lighting the candles, getting through the first day despite the whispers sniping, fail, fail, fail. You are who I love. You who beat and did not beat the odds. You who knows that any good thing you have, is the result of someone else's sacrifice and work. You who fight for reparations. You are who I love. You who stands at the courthouse with the sign that reads, "No justice, no peace." You are who I love, singing Leonard Cohen to the snow. You with glitter on your face, wearing a kilt and violet lipstick. You are who I love, sighing in your sleep. You playing drums in the procession. You feeding the chickens and humming as you hem the skirt. You sharpening the pencil. You writing the poem about the loneliness of the astronaut. You wanting to listen. You trying so hard to be still. You are who I love. Mothering the dogs, standing with horses. You in brightness and in darkness, throwing your head back as you laugh, kissing your hand. You carrying the Burberry from the mill and the jug of oil pressed from the olives of the trees you belong to. You studying stars. You are who I love, braiding your child's hair. You are who I love, crossing the desert and trying to cross the desert. You are who I love, working the shifts to buy books, rice, and tomatoes, bathing your children as you listen to lectures, heating the kitchen with the oven, up early, up late. You are who I love, learning English, learning Spanish, drawing flowers on your hand with a ballpoint pen, taking the bus home. You are who I love, speaking plainly about your pain, sucking your teeth at the airport terminal television every time the politicians say something that offends your sense of decency of thought, which is often. You are who I love, throwing your hands up in agony or disbelief, shaking your head, arguing back out loud or inside of yourself, holding close your incredulity, which yes to. I love. Your working heart, how each of its gestures, tiny or big, stand beside my own agony, building a forest there. How fuck you becomes a love song. You are who I love, carrying the signs, packing the lunches with the rain on your face. You at the edges and shores, in the rooms of the quiet, in the rooms of the shouting, in the airport terminal, at the bus depot, saying no, and each of us looking out from the gorgeous unlikelihood of our lives at all, finding ourselves here, witnesses to each other's tenderness, which this moment is fury, is rage, which this moment is another way of saying, you are who I love. You are who I love. You and you and you.